think I unknowingly entered a who can stay up the latest working on a cake contest, except I'm only competing with myself and we're both losing. Comment down below before you finish this video when you think I finished. If you win, I'll give you a digital pat on the back and tell you how proud I am of you and how good a job you're doing. A coveted prize, I know. But anyways, welcome back to part 2 of this evening in the life, where we are working on all of the decorating for a baby in bloom baby shower cake and cookies. I think part of what took so long is I committed to so many different styles of decorating cookies, but they did turn out beautiful, so I'm honestly not too mad. I did wet on wet, brushed icing, piped flowers, gold paint, you name it, I probably did it in this set. Again, I wanted opulence, and the more detail you can add, the better, in my opinion. I think when it comes to home bakers who offer a lot of different custom desserts, when it comes to sugar cookies, they're always kind of a hit or miss, because for as much as you want to add all of that detail and go super over the top with their designs, the cost of your time can tend to add up. So for that reason, I haven't really done a ton of these over my career. But because I end up doing them so infrequently, I always want to make sure that when I do, they come out perfect. I've also done buttercream flowers before, but this is my first time using a flower nail, and honestly, I'm going to have arthritis in my right hand after this. I think if you can learn this technique, this offers one of the most beautiful ways to add edible flowers to all of your cakes and cupcakes and cookies, but it is not for the faint of heart. I definitely learned a lot in this first round, though, for me to take to the next time I do this. I made flowers in both pink shades in multiple sizes in both the royal icing and the buttercream so that they would all match across the cake and cookies. This cake is going on display, so I'm going for a vintage style that's going to stand out. I started this after I was done with most of the cookies because I wanted to make sure that they had time to dry before I actually ended up going to bed and needing to wrap them up for the night. One interesting thing you'll see as I frost this cake too is because this cake is sat in the fridge overnight, you're going to see some darker areas of pink as I frost it. That is frosting that's actually re-solidifying and getting more saturated because the butter in it is turning cold from the coldness of the cake. That is what you want. You know your cake ain't going anywhere as you're going through the icing and decorating process. My American frosting also just has a high butter content, so you may not see this on a Swiss meringue. The inside is a cream cheese frosting to pair with the red velvet, and I do all of the outside in American buttercream just because this cake is going on a commute, and American buttercream after it's been chilled in the fridge is one of the most stable versions in my opinion. I also cannot tell you how long I sat and hand piped all of this lace. It came out so perfect and it was so worth it in the end, but again, the arthritis, y'all. When I finished all of the white details, I added some greenery piping and gold sprinkles to match the cookies a little bit more, and then it finally came time to finish off with the deep pink flower details, including some piped rosettes and the buttercream flowers we made earlier. I basically went ham adding flowers, petals, and leaves wherever I could just to give it that last little bit of oomph. I cleaned up my kitchen and celebrated the end of a night well spent with a healthy dose of glitter, and I was finally done with these works of art. I would love to know which designs are your favorite. I think personally the flowers are my favorite because I've never done a cookie like that before, and I definitely feel like I'm going to again. I also couldn't not add bows to the rattles, but the real showstopper is this cake. Look at her. I'm convinced I'll never create anything as beautiful again in my entire life. But time to see if all of your guesses in the comments were right. My watch died halfway through, but it is 4:15 in the morning, and your girl looking rough, so it's time for sleep. Night night!